Las Vegas Charity Gala, March 1972. A boxing champion, 6 feet 1 inch, 190 pounds, undefeated in 23 fights, looks at Linda Lee and says loudly, "What's a white woman doing with a Chinese guy? Couldn't find a real man?" Bruce Lee, standing 10 feet away, sets down his glass. 500 witnesses go silent. What happens in the next 8 seconds doesn't just put the champion on the floor. It ends his boxing career, costs him his sponsors, and makes him issue a public apology in the Las Vegas Review-Journal. And it starts with a racist insult nobody should have said. But first, you need to understand Tommy the Tank Richardson. Las Vegas, Nevada, March 18, 1972. Saturday evening, 7 p.m., the Sands Hotel Ballroom Charity Gala Black Tie event. Raising money for children's hospitals, 500 guests, celebrities, athletes, and business executives, wealthy donors. This was high society. This was where important people networked, where money changed hands, where reputations were made or destroyed. Tommy the Tank Richardson, 29 years old, 6 feet 1 inch, 190 pounds, professional boxer, middleweight division, undefeated, 23 wins, 0 losses, 18 knockouts, rising star, not champion yet, but on his way, fighting for a title shot. 6 months away from the biggest fight of his career. He was cocky, really cocky, believed his own hype, believed the sports journalists who called him unstoppable, believed the promoters who said he'd be the next big thing, believed his undefeated record made him invincible. Off the ring, Tommy had a reputation, not a good one, arrogant, disrespectful, particularly toward people he considered beneath him. And in Tommy's worldview, most people were beneath him. He was an undefeated boxer, elite athlete, future champion. Everyone else was just ordinary. Tonight's gala, Tommy attended for appearances, charitable donation, good publicity, photographers, press coverage. Boxing champion supports children's hospitals. Good for his image, good for his brand, his manager insisted. He arrived at 7 p.m. wearing a tuxedo, looking the part, shaking hands, posing for photos, playing the role of charitable athlete, but bored, really bored. This wasn't his scene. Too formal, too refined. He preferred bars, clubs, places where he could be himself. Loud, crude, unfiltered. Bruce Lee and Linda arrived at 7:15, invited by a film producer. Bruce was gaining recognition. The big boss had been released. Fist of Fury was coming. He was becoming known. Not a superstar yet, but rising. Film industry people knew his name, knew his potential. Linda wore an elegant dress, black, simple, beautiful. Bruce wore a tuxedo. They looked like any other couple. Successful, professional, happy. They mingled, talked with producers, directors, industry people, networking, building relationships. This was part of the business, part of making it in Hollywood. You attended events, you made connections, you showed your face. Around 8 p.m., Bruce and Linda were talking with a small group, film industry people, discussing upcoming projects, potential collaborations, standard industry conversation. Tommy was at the bar, drinking, his third whiskey, bored with the formal atmosphere, looking for entertainment, looking for attention, looking for something to make the evening less tedious. He noticed Linda, attractive woman, elegant, poised, standing with a group, talking, laughing, but standing next to an Asian man, small Asian man, in a tuxedo. Tommy watched, his alcohol-influenced brain making connections. White woman, Asian man, together, at a high society event, acting like a couple. That bothered Tommy, in his worldview, in his racist worldview. That was wrong, inappropriate, offensive. White women should be with white men, that's how it should be, that's how he believed it should be. He left the bar, walked toward the group, uninvited, unwelcome, but confidence, arrogant confidence, the kind that comes from being undefeated, from never facing consequences, from always getting away with it. He approached Linda directly, ignored everyone else, focused on her. "Excuse me, miss, you're here with him?" Gesturing dismissively toward Bruce. Linda looked uncomfortable. "Yes, this is my husband, Bruce Lee." Tommy laughed, loud laugh, deliberately loud. "Husband? What's a white woman doing with a Chinese guy? Couldn't find a real man?" The small group went silent, stunned. Did he really just say that? Out loud? In public? At a charity gala? Bruce stepped forward, calm, controlled, but his eyes had changed. "That's my wife, apologize." What Tommy said next sealed his fate. Tommy looked down at Bruce, 6 inches height difference. "Apologize? To you? You're what, 140 pounds? I'm an undefeated boxer, 23-0. I don't apologize to anyone, especially not to—" Bruce interrupted, voice quiet, dangerous quiet. "Choose your next words carefully." Tommy smirked. "Especially not to little Chinese guys who can't satisfy their own women. And that's why she's probably looking for a real—" He didn't finish. Linda slapped him, hard, across the face. The sound echoed through the ballroom. 500 people turned, conversations stopped. Music seemed to quiet, everyone watching. Tommy's face went red, not from the slap, from rage, from humiliation. He'd just been slapped by a woman in front of 500 people. His ego couldn't handle it. He raised his hand, going to slap back, going to strike Linda. Bruce moved, faster than Tommy could track, stepped between them. His hand caught Tommy's wrist, mid-air. Stopped the slap before it landed. "Bad decision," Bruce said quietly. Tommy tried to pull his hand free, couldn't. Bruce's grip was iron, small hand, 140-pound body, but the grip was unbreakable. "Let go," Tommy demanded, trying to sound tough, but his wrist hurt, really hurt. Pressure point, specific location, Bruce's thumb pressing, cutting off circulation, weakening the entire arm. "Apologize to my wife now." "I don't apologize to—" Bruce increased pressure. Tommy's hand went numb. His fingers couldn't move, couldn't make a fist, couldn't grab. Nothing, just numbness and pain. "Apologize, last chance." Tommy's other hand came up, throwing a punch, left hook, boxer's instinct, fast, powerful, championship-level technique. What happened in the next 8 seconds shocked 500 witnesses. Seconds 1 to 2. Tommy's left hook came fast. Really fast. Professional boxing speed. The kind of punch that had knocked out 18 opponents. Bruce's free hand moved, intercepted the punch mid-swing. His palm touched Tommy's forearm, redirected it, down and to the side. And the hook missed by inches. Tommy was shocked. Nobody caught his punches, nobody. He was too fast, too skilled. But this small guy just redirected a full-power hook like it was nothing. Seconds 3 to 4. Tommy reset, both hands free now. Bruce had released his wrist. Good, fair fight. Boxer versus Kung Fu. He'd destroy this little guy. Show everyone. Show Linda. Show the 500 witnesses. He threw a combination. Jab, cross, hook. Classic boxing. Professional technique. 23 fights. Never failed. Bruce slipped all 3. Head movement, minimal, efficient, made each punch miss by millimeters. Tommy was hitting nothing but air. The crowd was completely silent now. 500 people watching, stunned, an undefeated boxer, throwing championship-level punches, connecting with nothing. It's seconds 5 to 6. Tommy increased intensity, threw everything, uppercut, overhand right, body shots, head shots, combinations, everything he knew, everything that made him undefeated. Bruce moved through it all like water, flowing, adapting, never blocking, never stopping the punches with force, just not being where they were. making Tommy chase, making Tommy miss, making Tommy look ordinary. Tommy was breathing hard now, frustration, confusion. How? How was this small guy making him miss everything? Seconds 7 to 8, Tommy committed fully. Threw his best punch, the right cross that had won him 18 fights. Full power, full commitment, full speed. Bruce didn't evade this time. Stepped inside, too close for the punch to generate power. His hand touched Tommy's chest. Solar plexus, specific spot. Light pressure, not a strike, or not a hit, just pressure. But the effect was immediate. Tommy's diaphragm spasmed. Air expelled from his lungs, involuntarily. He couldn't breathe, couldn't inhale. Panic. His legs weakened, knees buckled. He sat down, hard, on the ballroom floor in his tuxedo in front of 500 witnesses, gasping, trying to breathe, trying to understand what just happened. 8 seconds from first punch to sitting on the floor. The ballroom was completely silent, 500 people, frozen, nobody moving, nobody speaking. They'd just watched an undefeated professional boxer, 23 wins, 18 knockouts, get put on the floor in 8 seconds by a man 50 pounds lighter. Tommy sat there, on the expensive carpet, finally breathing again, short, painful breaths. His chest hurt. His ego hurt worse. Bruce stood over him, not threatening, not aggressive, just present. You insulted my wife in public. You tried to strike her in front of witnesses. You attacked me when I defended her. Poor choices, all of them. Tommy looked up, seeing Bruce clearly for the first time. Not a small Chinese guy, not inferior, not weak, a martial artist, a real martial artist. Someone who just embarrassed him completely. Linda stood beside Bruce, composed, dignified, not gloating, not celebrating, just standing with her husband. Hotel security arrived, 3 guards, responding to the disturbance. They saw Tommy on the floor, Bruce standing, the silent crowd. What happened here? The head of security asked. 20 people started talking at once, all saying the same thing. Tommy insulted Bruce's wife, tried to hit her. Bruce defended her. Tommy attacked. Bruce put him down. 8 seconds. Everyone saw it. The security chief looked at Tommy. Sir, you need to leave now. Tommy stood slowly, legs still shaky, pride completely destroyed. He looked at Bruce, at Linda, at the 500 witnesses, at the end of his reputation. He left, escorted by security, out the ballroom, through the lobby, out of the hotel, into the Las Vegas night. Humiliated, broken, changed. The gala continued, but the story spread. Immediately, 500 witnesses, 500 people with 500 versions. All essentially the same. Tommy Richardson insulted Bruce Lee's wife. Bruce put him down in 8 seconds. Everyone saw it. By Sunday morning, the story was in the Las Vegas newspapers. Sports section. Undefeated boxer humiliated at charity gala. The article included witness statements of Tommy's racist comments, his attempt to strike Linda, his complete defeat in 8 seconds. By Monday, Tommy's sponsors dropped him, all of them, athletic wear company, energy drink, local car dealership. Nobody wanted to be associated with racism, with violence against women, with public humiliation. By Tuesday, his title shot was canceled. The boxing commission investigated, found multiple witnesses confirming Tommy's racist language, his attempt to strike a woman, his public intoxication. They suspended his boxing license, pending review. By Wednesday, Tommy's manager dropped him. I can't represent someone who insults women, who uses racist language, who gets embarrassed in public. Your career is over. Tommy tried to salvage it, hired a publicist, issued statements. I was drunk, I don't remember, but it's not who I am. But 500 witnesses remembered. They remembered exactly what he said, exactly what he did, exactly how it ended. The Boxing Commission held hearings, reviewed testimony, made a decision. License suspended for 1 year, mandatory counseling, mandatory public apology, mandatory community service. Tommy wrote the apology, published in the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I deeply regret my actions at the charity gala. My comments were racist, inappropriate, and inexcusable. I disrespected Mrs. Lee, Mr. Lee, and everyone present. I'm seeking counseling. I'm working to become a better person. I apologize to the Lee family, to the boxing community, and to everyone I offended. But the damage was done. 1 year suspension. No sponsors, no title shot, no income. His boxing career effectively over at 29, at his peak, and destroyed by 8 seconds in his own racism. He tried to come back after the suspension. Fought a few small venue matches, lost 2, won 1, against unknown opponents. His confidence was gone. His reputation was destroyed. His skill seemed diminished. By 1974, Tommy Richardson retired from boxing, took a job as a security guard. Ironic. The man who tried to strike a woman, now paid to protect people. March 1972. A charity gala, 500 witnesses, 8 seconds that ended a boxing career. The lesson isn't that Bruce Lee was better than Tommy Richardson, different skills, different contexts. Boxing versus martial arts. The lesson is about consequences. Tommy made choices, racist comments, attempt to strike a woman, public attack. Every choice had consequences, immediate consequences, public consequences. Permanent consequences. He thought his undefeated record protected him, thought his athletic status gave him immunity, thought he could say anything, do anything, face no repercussions. He was wrong. 500 witnesses, 500 people who saw everything, heard everything, remembered everything. In 1972, before cell phones, before social media, before viral videos, 500 witnesses were enough. Enough to end a career, enough to destroy a reputation, enough to enforce consequences. Bruce didn't seek the confrontation, didn't want the fight, didn't want the attention. He defended his wife, protected her, responded to attack. That's it. 8 seconds. Controlled response, minimal force, maximum effect. Linda showed dignity, grace, throughout. She didn't escalate, didn't gloat, didn't celebrate Tommy's downfall. I just stood with her husband, supported him, moved forward. The 500 witnesses showed something important too. They told the truth, all of them, consistently, despite Tommy's status, despite his boxing record, despite pressure. They told what they saw, what they heard, what happened. Truth mattered more than celebrity, more than athletics, more than reputation. 8 seconds changed 3 lives. Tommy's career ended. Bruce's reputation strengthened. Linda's dignity preserved. All because Tommy made terrible choices. All because consequences followed actions. All because 500 people witnessed truth. Bruce Lee said, "Mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit them." March 1972. Tommy Richardson made mistakes, racist language, violence toward women, public aggression. But courage to admit them? And that came late, too late, after sponsors left, after license suspended, after career destroyed. The apology in the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Written by lawyers, published under pressure, not from courage, from necessity, from damage control, from desperate attempt to salvage something, anything. Real courage would have been different, would have been immediate apology. That night, in the ballroom, in front of 500 witnesses, "I was wrong, I'm sorry, Mrs. Lee, I apologize, Mr. Lee, I apologize, everyone, I apologize." That's courage. But ego prevented it, pride prevented it, racism prevented it. So consequences followed. Swift, public, permanent. 500 witnesses told a story, About choices, about consequences, about what happens when you insult someone's wife, when you try to strike a woman, is when you attack someone defending family. The story doesn't end well, never does, never will. 8 seconds, one touch, one career ended, one lesson taught. Respect people, respect women, respect families, or face consequences. Simple, clear, permanent. Be like water, my friend.